Hello YouTube friends, Ben Ochart here. Thank you so much for tuning in. And today's topic is fish getting old. You know, people ask me sometimes if there's something about the hobby that I don't like. And yeah, there is. Let's get into it. So if there was one thing about keeping fish, not just cichlids really, but any fish, is that the fish, if you do a good job with those fish, they'll last you a long time, and then eventually they're going to get old, and eventually you're going to watch them start to just break down and fall apart right in front of you. And I have that going on right now with a couple fish that have been with me a very, very long time. I've grown attached to them, and now I'm watching them slowly start to phase into that final stage of their life. You can see both of them over here. One of them is a Placidochromis johnsoni right there, and down here at the bottom is actually the Taiwan reef that is on my logo, on my channel logo, that I raised up from this spectacular little juvie. I've actually raised both of them up from a small juvie and watched them go through their phases of finally getting color and blossoming, becoming spectacular fish, and then the slow decline as they get older. And another aspect of keeping fish, in particular some of the more aggressive types of fish like African cichlids, is that they're very quick to apply a sort of, law of the fittest or natural selection. And when a fish starts to decline a little bit, some of the other fish will take it upon themselves to hurry along the process. In the case of the Taiwan reef, interestingly enough, another fish in his family of fish, Protomelis, a tangerine tiger derivative, an imperial tiger, which is actually pretty small by comparison. If you can see him in here, he's in the back of the tank right there. That little silver guy who hasn't even really even colored up yet is giving that Taiwan reef a very hard time, and it's sort of part of their process of taking fish out of the pecking order, so they gradually move up and become sort of, they become next in line for being the boss, or being able to be the male that could be able to breed. If females were to come into the picture, they would be the dominant male. And so they take it upon themselves to make it really hard on these older fish. And I'm almost at a point where I could probably set up another tank and have it be the sort of retirement home for the older fish, and maybe let them live out their lives there. So at any rate, if people ever ask me what do you not like about keeping fish, in particular African cichlids, it would be the decline that they go into and how other fish in the tank contribute to that decline, and which I guess is another aspect of the aggression of African cichlids, which makes them a breed or a species that is particularly difficult for some people to keep. Some people just get out of African cichlids altogether because they don't like the aggression, the violence that occurs with these fish. It's sort of a trade-off to get colors like you see here in this electric blue, in this beautiful, this beautiful Protomelis right here. I mean, look at the colors on that fish, just absolutely gorgeous. This Fusco, this fire hap, super red empress, of course, the one I was referring to there. I mean, those are gorgeous colors that are hard to find in other freshwater fish. But it's kind of like a rose with its thorns. You get this other side of it. You're going to get strong aggression and unfortunately a piling on that occurs when a fish starts to get old and starts to lose its strength and vigor, and they pretty much become they pretty much get to a point where they're isolated to a part of the tank out of fear of coming out because the other fish start picking on them. So at any rate, that's That's today's video. Not the most upbeat video, and certainly not one intended to discourage people from getting into African cichlids. The rewards of keeping African cichlids, the color, the growth, the blossoming, when they start to color up, all of those things make the aggression and the final decline as they get older. If you do a good job as a fish keeper and your fish get older and you have that decline, but everything that came before that, all of that makes it worthwhile. So don't let this in any way discourage you from not keeping African cichlids. I still feel they're an amazing fish. Just one aspect of it, like with any pet, you have a dog, and I've gone through several dogs over the years, and of course they only last anywhere from 12 to maybe 18 years, depending on the breed. On average, some live longer, some shorter, but it's never easy to love a critter like that and then have them die on you, and you watch them actually go from being that crazy pup to moving kind of slow and then finally expiring on you. So at any rate, that's the video, and thank you so much for tuning in. Always appreciated. Maybe I'll see you on Saturday at the live stream at the Cichlids and Coffee. Certainly follow on Instagram if you're inclined to, ben.o.cichlid. And of course, we have a nice, friendly, troll-free Facebook group, ben.o.cichlid. Come by if you can. Be sure to answer all the questions, including the final question, so that the moderators let you in the group. Okay? Thank you so much. That's it for me. Bye-bye.